Blades of Vengeance is a Sega Genesis Mega Drive game from the 90s. The swinging 90s, as we used to call them back in the day. This game is something a lot of you, probably most of you, haven't played before, and honestly, you're not missing out on much. It's kinda like a crappy version of Golden Axe, and I wouldn't say it's crappy, it's a crappier version of Golden Axe. It's basically your typical side-scrolling action game. You go to the right, you jump over obstacles, you kill enemies. You have three different characters. You have the hot kind of agile chick, you have the strong kind of stupid guy, and you have the wizard who does wizardry. And I guess he would be the equivalent of the little dwarf character in Golden Axe, but in this game, he's a wizard, and he shoots magic out of his wizard cane. Now, normally I would say the wizard is the best character because he has ranged attacks. He can shoot projectiles, the other two characters cannot. But there are also some problems with him. It's like he wasn't made to live and fight in this very violent world of Blades of Vengeance. Sometimes he gets stuck in places where the fact that he can't hit very hard really shows. Like, there's cheap deaths in this game, and with him they happen a lot more often than with the other two characters, simply because he doesn't have the power to take out a lot of the enemies really fast. But the other two characters suffer from cheap deaths as well. Sometimes you have to make leaps of faith where you don't know where to go, and the only way you can possibly go is like off a bridge. And like, seriously? Normally when I fall off these bridges, I die right away. I fall into lava. And you jump down and there just happens to be some ground there. And you can actually look around. Like, there's this view option where you can move your camera around and see if there's anything below you, but it only goes down so far, so it's almost useless. Whenever you have to make leaps of faith, your looking around option doesn't help you at all because it doesn't go down that far or up that far or to the right or left that far. I've had this problem with the guy character where he gets stuck in lava. Like, if the other two characters fall into lava, they can more or less jump out of it, but this dude with a giant battle axe, he sometimes actually gets stuck in lava. Like, there's a platform right there, he can jump out of it, but it's like he can't jump high enough, or... I mean, I totally understand. If I was in lava, I don't think I'd be able to jump very high either. But it's a little inconsistent when the other two characters can get out of this situation and he can't. Although, if we're going with realism, the second you fall into lava, you're supposed to melt into fish paste. But I don't want to be all negative, because this game isn't horrible. It's not even bad. It's kind of between semi-good and bad. I love the graphics of this game, and I love the art style, and this chick in this game is probably one of the hottest chicks in gaming history. I'm surprised she didn't go on to have a successful gaming career, because she is just banging. And as hot as she is in the game, she's even more smoking on the game cover. Not only is she hot, but she's also pretty much the best character. I found I had the best gameplay experience with her. She seems a lot faster than both the characters, and she can do pretty good damage. Not as much damage as the guy with the big battle axe, but she makes up for it by being able to jump faster and move faster. And in this really dangerous world where enemies are coming at you, you're not sure how many hit points each enemy has, lava shoots at you, you can fall into lava, and sometimes lava straight up turns into enemies. In a world where you really have to be agile and quick on your feet like a cat on steroids, she is the best character to have. Now back to the bad parts. This game is unforgiving, and especially the boss battles. You can kind of figure out the strategy of a boss, but some characters are almost impossible to beat a boss with. So really, there's a lot of trial and error, and just simple luck in order to get through the game, which is more or less a bad thing in most games. There are some things to help you out in the game. For example, B is to attack, C is to jump, but A is to use various items you find in the world. There's invincibility potions, there's healing potions, there's all sorts of things to help you out in the game, but most things, aside from the actual healing potion, barely help you out. On top of having good graphics, the game also has pretty good music, so that's a good mix. I just wish the gameplay was a little bit more forgiving and a little less trial and error. The gameplay definitely has its moments of fun though. Like, my favorite attack to do is the high swing, where you set up your swing from the top and you just swing down, in essence basically cutting your enemy in half. It obviously doesn't show your enemy being cut in half, but that's the motion, and you go right through the enemy. It's a really violent, Conan-esque technique, and it's really satisfying when you perform it on enemies. As the game stands right now, I would give it something in the neighborhood of a 6.8 out of 10. It's not great, but it's definitely playable, and there is fun to be had, especially now in 2013. I mean, we're forgetting the nostalgia factor. If I played this game as a kid when it came out, by the way, I didn't. The first time I played this game was probably about 7 years ago when I was already, you know, basically an adult, 19 or something like that. If I played this game as a kid, however, I would think it's just kind of a crappy game that's a little too hard. But playing it now, there's that nostalgia factor where you're playing a game from days gone by. These are classic graphics on a classic console with genuine classic Sega Genesis gameplay. And in terms of gaming nostalgia, it doesn't get much better than that. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, my friends.